Golden Eagles. Welcome back to Touchdown Talk. My name is Matthew Vanover along with Coach Clint Smith. And today we've got also a special media guest today, Matthew Parker. Matt, how you doing today, brother?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Good, man. So, guys, if y'all not aware, this is one of our commentators for Golden Eagle Media on Friday nights. Coach, you're probably not aware of it because you're on the sideline.
Oh, yeah, I know what he does.
But Matthew Parker, we're glad to have you here. Can't wait to hear your awesome questions that you got. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Matt, you've got one question. Go for it.
So, go ahead and just get straight off into it. What was the locker room atmosphere after the Oxford loss?
Well, I mean, we were definitely, disappointed with the loss, as with any loss. I think, we feel like we didn't play our best, but Oxford had a lot to do with that. They were a really good team, and so it was one of those games where I feel like we needed to play that game headed into the playoffs, just to see the type talent that they had, and the teams that we play from here on out will be very similar. And so it's we were disappointed, of course, but we understand that, it's a new season now. It's like we told them, the 8 wins that we have up to this point don't mean anything. The two losses we have don't mean anything. Everybody's got the same record, and moving forward, it's just about who can put it together.
Yeah. So, as kind of goes with that question, as you're in the playoffs, what do you tell your seniors going into these next couple of games?
Well, you get to this point of year, you realize as a senior that, the next time you lose, it's over. And so, they understand the importance of, preparing and being the best that we can be. And, I think we got a really good football team. Every team we play from here on out will be a really good football team starting this Friday. And so it's all about, us just doing everything we can to be our best. And, as long as we're doing our best and doing everything that we can do, the chips will fall where they may.
Pretty good.
Well, Matt, thank you for hanging in here with us. We appreciate all your questions. That was some good questions. It's better than some I've come up with in the past couple of weeks. So we're just going to go ahead and get into the questions that I had prepared. So with the playoff brackets becoming officially set for the road to Super 7 at Bryant Denny Stadium, what is your mindset as the head coach of a high school football team that's in those brackets?
Well, it's the next one. You can't overlook anybody. You can't look ahead. Everything has to be focused on that particular Friday night. And so, like I said, every team that we play from here on out will present, a tremendous challenge for us in different ways. And you get into the playoffs, a lot of it's about matchups, and you see different types of teams, a more physical type team that runs the ball, some that pass it more. And so for us, it's just, once the brackets came out, we saw that we were playing Bayside, and, that's been where all of our focus has been. Just because, you can't afford to look ahead. You have to focus on that team that you're playing, and just trying to prepare the best you can during the week, and just make sure that when Friday gets here, mentally you're ready to go out and compete at a high level.
That's good. Yeah, you don't want to, going back to what you said, you don't want to worry about stepping on the bus and where that bus is going to go next round. You want to focus on where am I going to line up with the ball this Friday?
Yep.
And that's what you want to do. So we're going to go ahead and get into some student questions like we had a couple days, or actually last week. So this question is from Isabella Hirsch. What are Jacksonville's statistics compared to Bayside Academy statistics? Thank you for your question, and go Eagles.
Well, I don't really know exactly all of Bayside's stats as far as individual type things. We throw the ball more than they do. They've got a really good running game. Their quarterback's a very athletic guy. He can throw it. They've got some good receivers. They've got a big, tall tight end that they like to throw to. And so they don't throw it as much as we do. They're more of a running team. They're a bigger physical team up front, and so, they're going to try to establish the run game, and but they throw well enough to keep you off balance. So as far as statistics, I know that we throw the ball statistically more than they do, but I know number 13, their tight end, is probably one of their best players, and they have a big offensive defensive lineman that's committed to SMU that's really good. And so like I said, it's all about matchups, and we just got to go in and play well.
That's right. So we've got another question. This question is from a follower of Golden Eagle Media on Instagram. How is Zay English this year? Thank you for your question, and go Eagles.
Well, Zay, was our starter last year. Had an ankle injury that put him out for 4 or 5 weeks, and just kind of struggled coming back from that. This year, I think he's done a really good job for us. I think he's getting close to 1,000 yards on the season rushing. So I think he's done a good job. I think he's still growing and still, maturing into the running back that he can be. And so as long as, he'll keep working, as long as he'll keep, focusing on getting better each and every day and doing what he does well and really working on what, he needs improvement on, he's going to be a really good back before he leaves here. He's got another year next year. And so, but he stepped in this year and made some big plays for us.
That's good. Yeah, I talk to him every day, and he's just a leader on and off the field. That's all the guys that I talk to that we talked about last week, coachable players, and that was just something that we had based our podcast on, and I believe that all your guys are coachable players, and that's what makes a good football team.
Well, they definitely got to be coachable. They've got to be able to, to take coaching, understand that, that we love them, and we're gonna pat them on the back when they do something good, and when they do something bad, we're gonna try to create it and correct it. But now's when the leadership's going to really show. You got to go out and perform. You got to go out and do it on the field. You talk's fine, but when Friday gets here, everything's got to come together, and that leadership's got to filter out onto the field.
That's right. So going back to what you said a couple minutes ago, with Oxford being Oxford being one of those teams that everybody looks to that's like really, really good, there's other teams in the Class 4A bracket out of 32 that are really, really good. So with Oxford being a really good football team and with just really good football teams in the playoff bracket, how do you adjust this week knowing that there are also really good teams just like them?
Well, once again, it kind of goes back to us and making sure that we understand that we've got to play at a high level, and we've got to do it for 4 quarters. Going into the Oxford game, it had been probably 6 weeks since our starters had played a full game, and that's why I said it was really important that we had that game last week to where we had to play 4 quarters against a really, really good team. And so, because that's what we're going to see from here on out, we've got to understand that it's going to be a dogfight each and every week. It's going to be a 4-quarter game each and every week, and it's going to come down to the team that makes the least mistakes. And so we've just got to make sure that we prepare at practice each and every week and mentally prepare to go in understanding that it's going to be that type of game each and every week. And so, as long as we do that, I think we got a chance to make a run. If we don't do that, then, we'll be done a lot earlier than we want to be.
Yeah, well, I hope that we're not done a whole lot earlier than we want to be. But this is kind of mine and Matt's question. But is there anything, we talked about this last week, it's playoff week. So is there anything you want to say to the fans watching this show about coming out this Friday night?
Absolutely. It's I know we're out of school. I know that the routine's a little bit different for Friday, but it's a huge game against an 8-2 team that's really, really good coming up from Daphne down in Mobile area. It's going to be a little bit cooler. Chance it's going to be a little bit wet with rain, but you go buy you a poncho, a rain jacket, and get out there and show support. And I know our guys feed off of that, and so hopefully our students and our fans will come out and give us a boost.
Well, absolutely. Well, Matthew Parker, thank you for joining us today, and yet again, thanks, Coach, for hanging out and keeping up with us. But guys, that concludes it for this week's Touchdown Talk. My name is Matt Vanover. This is Matthew Parker, and along with Coach Clint Smith. We'll see y'all this Friday night. Go Eagles.